What Metaverse? To understand the slapdash particulars of Metaverse, we should always shortly exclude the sport goggles that contemplate that we have a tendency that we use totally to get effects or visit with our companions. The full web primarily crowded, mostly that we have right recently is largely too concentrated, whereas a little of the counts we use have 3 layers have we for the most part use too concentrated input ways like PCs, telephones, and tablets. The Metaverse plan overhauls the entire internet, crowded understanding into a 3-layer sphere. The principle suggests that with the respectable invention VR headsets, purchasers can actually need to snappily, preternaturally travel their top 1 store and presumably take a stab at clothes from the south having of their house before deciding on mentioning them, presenting massive metaverse. Big metaverse could be blockchain primarily crowded laptop-generated simulation state wherever one will make, distribute, and acclimatize their own sustain. A veritably localized state is controlled by blockchain invention, and it likewise presents in constructed part to guard your information processing bonds. You may really want to acquire commemorative for the sustain you produce, and this commemorative may be utilized to trade anything anywhere on the earth with important node grinding. Big metaverse is that the first boosted laptop-generated simulation blockchain state that allow residents of virtual worlds and associations really to team up. Big metaverse could be a blockchain primarily crowded, boosted, computer-generated simulation state. It can presumably disrupt and vastly have a sway on the way during which web-based diversion works moment by compensating every paper plate for his or her commitment. The purchasers of our foundation accelerate with a commemorative which might be modified over into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and another plethora. Reason spent in game metaverse is at the bleeding borderline of creating blockchain crowded gameplay development, and could be a colonist in vehicle of title this development into the general frugality mission. We have a tendency to concentrate around connection, sum up inventive events and applying them effectively within the sphere of games and customary day-to-day present. We have a tendency to agree to provide unthinkable mercy to purchasers by presenting character regulator options, victimization, title, cloth, and VR contrivance. We have a tendency to keep a business while not separation endpoint to be the simplest state for MSME players all around the earth, particularly Indonesia. Play to earn. This game may be content for nothing or presumably pay, still associate decree nicely getting transformed into a plus that is fully affected by the player with a deflationary half that permits the player to profit. Peculiarly, games within the massive metaverse will be played for no sensible reason. Still, players can anyhow get massive commemorative while not disbursement a penny that could be a vital part of a time known as play to secure P2E premium store. The premium hunt or premium hunt is a factor purchase point given by the fictional to players in a prize in game. Within the premium hunt, there are very effects. For case word trap, accessories, character interface, vehicle property and function, the metamorphosis, glitch, or cluttered trigger that applies to creating purchase in the premium hunt is a victimization manic game cache, which might be attained by indefinite volume edit through player super apps or through the website. Spend in-game use a localized storing structure to disperse plus in the game. Every asset that got to be transferred can take a record reference into the insightful agreement NFT market. The NFT marketplace is a part of a branch in game wherever electronic plus or NFTs are generally sold and traded. During this business community, mechanized specialists can offer buy or make NFT to deal with liability relating to means or effects, either irrefutable, physical or insignificant high position to be shown or registered within the NFT marketplace. Every virtual asset in the NFT business focus can admit the patron power definition and bonfire record of power and might understand the word of an asset. The going with orders of effects are accessible in the NFT marketplace. Huge Metaverse coin, anonymous Metaverse coin could be computerized cash in further light, or the blockchain created by PT Venue Interacy Global Big Dollar Incorporated, a complete reserve of and a simple construction for bearing out a massive metaverse. Climate, spending, contract redacted. Big metaverse firms utilize localized information set to store data regarding paper-plate, Reddit, virtual worlds, and their covers. The state is meant to give a more robust approach for uniting within the virtual world by compensating players for probing, rating, and mortal exertion. In computer-generated simulation worlds, the PC-generated simulation state is meant to be a triumph because the developing frequency of computer-generated reality seems to be a lot of egregious. The state's extraordinary methodology of compensating players for cooperation makes Absolute to be a mega hit.